meant to them or got them through. How has the show changed in your perspective on it since you were in the booth recording your first lines to now?
Sounds like a Jeremy Andrews.
No. That sounds like Chris Pack.
No.
We'll just go down the line.
Look, I honestly, I am so peripherally involved in the Dragon Ball universe, like that, seriously. So, I'm in one movie and about 10 video games as a villain named Turles, okay? But so apart from that, I'm not really involved in Dragon Ball that much, so I'm not the most qualified to answer, but I will, okay. How has it changed? How is Dragon? I don't have.
I have an answer.
Good. Here we go.
Okay,
Yes,
I have
bless
an
you.
answer. Because I just started doing conventions in 2018. I did like 1 or 2 when I voiced Pan, and then skipped and did them in 2018. So I think I didn't realize the full impact of the Dragon Ball franchise. And the first time somebody recognized me, I was like, oh, did we go to high school together? Like, how do you know me? And they said, well, we got this thing called the internet. And so that's how we know that you were on Dragon Ball. So I just didn't realize the impact. And then I have heard these stories, to your point, like one of my favorite stories, it's not a favorite, it was meaningful, I should use the word meaningful, where somebody did share that they had a hard time in high school and Dragon Ball kind of got them through that hard time. So that it's not a favorite, it was a bad story, but it was just meaningful that Dragon Ball got them through, and Pan was one of their favorite characters, and they had some other characters that they loved. So I just had no idea that people latched on in that way. So it was very revealing, and it really added meaning to the work that I had done. So that's my story.
Yeah, I see exactly everything Elise said, and then double. It's hard to, for the question, how has it changed Dragon Ball? I don't know. It's crazy to think about 22 years ago, that's when I got cast as Dragon Ball Z. And that changed my life. I don't know how much the show has changed. We've been able to re-record it, and it just keeps on growing and growing and growing, and that's crazy to me. But I have people come to my table who watched it in high school, and they're bringing their kids, they're watching it. I mean, we're on their 3rd generation Dragon Ball Z fans, I think, which is nuts. When you think about it, it's just something I thought would be fun to do when I wasn't doing anything else 22 years ago. Because I ran into a theater friend that I didn't really like. That's my other favorite. That's the guy that got me Chris Sabat's number to come audition for Dragon Ball Z was like a total a-hole.
What was his name?
Bart.
Bart?
Yeah.
Huh.
He was on COVID at the time.
Oh, good.
I know a name that we could chant though right now.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Bart, know a name that we could chant right now because of who just joined us on the stage? Satan!
Satan! Satan! Satan! Satan! Satan! Satan!
Loves you. Yeah, good on it, especially good on a Sunday. Feels really good. Pentagram shirts, we're doing very well.
How about another question?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, we're new.
Moving along.
So you're new.
Yes.
You're here.
Don't listen to him, he's an ass.
When you all respectively got the gig working on Dragon Ball, how much about it did you know? Did you know anything about it whatsoever at all?
I knew nothing.
I don't even know
In
what
fact,
anything was.
see, Josh and I, we've been friends for a long time. We were in a comedy troupe together. We were called Section 8 Comedy. And if you saw us, we were hilarious. We were hilarious. And Mike McFarland was also a member of that troupe. You might know him as Master Roshi, right? The perverted old man. And he came in one day and he's like, hey guys, these guys out in Fort Worth, they need voices for a cartoon they're doing out there. You guys should go audition. I looked at him, I go, did you audition? Did you get a part? He's like, yeah. I'm like, if you got a part, they'll give me a part. And sure enough, I went and auditioned, they gave me a part. I was like, in your face, Mike! Mike was, yeah. My guy was not even part, at least, you know. But, so yeah, no, I auditioned and I didn't know anything about it. I mean, I recognized it as, well, what I called as a kid, Japanimation. right? I knew that. And then of course that was like a dirty word, like nobody say anime now. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And no, I don't. I don't say, yeah, I don't say that. And so yeah, well, Japanimation is good. It was from Japan. It was animation. It made sense. Japanimation,
I remember.
right?
It was called that in the halls.
Because anime wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Really.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. We didn't know anything about it.
We did. So yeah, that's how we got started.
North Texas.
Yeah, of all places.
You know.
Did you ever meet Barry? You met Barry.
Of course, everybody got
Barry hired
Barry.
me for his other.
He really encapsulated the anime vibe, didn't he?
Yeah.
Barry?
Totally. Hey, let me tell you now. All right, don't sing. All right.
He was like Barry on like a ranch and horses and stuff.
Yeah.
And like carrying like.
He was like a southern Texas guy, you know.
Doesn't get much better. That's like Wyatt Earp level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, you have a funny story about Barry.
Barry was directing Dragon Ball Z when Kid Buu appeared. And he goes, oh, all right.
Sam was sick that day.
Apparently, whatever. I think he kind of just passed it off. But yeah, Barry says, all right, Josh, we got basically Buu turns into a little kid. We're gonna call him Kid Buu, and he's basically just a junkyard dog. Just a junkyard dog, just an animal. And so from then on, every time I see Boo, I just think about chewing on a tire.
I love that level of direction too. He's JYD action.
He's just a junkyard dog.
I got one more, and then I want to take it to the audience. You guys have questions, right? Anybody got a question already? Anybody?
If you don't, we're
Because
leaving.
if you don't, all right. Well,
Start thinking.
no. Doing anime voiceover, not necessarily known like video game voiceover is for being just murder on your throat, because there's always some kicking and some punching and some jumping and leaping and everything all the time. Dragon Ball is one of those anime where there is a lot of leaping and jumping and flying and standing on a plateau for something like 70 episodes and then leaping off of the plateau and punching someone in the face. What have been some of your most grueling days in the booth? Those of you who have had some of that really hardcore stuff to do.
You're like the only character that had to throw temper tantrums.
Man, the fat Boo part wasn't so necessarily hard. The Kid Boo is a little harder because he's a little more gravelly, the junkyard dog stuff. But I just approach it as like singing, support the breath and just drink a lot of whiskey. That's what works for me. Don't do what I say.
Mixed with a junkyard dog.
That's
Right.
it. Yeah.
Well, as the martial arts champion of the world,
Let's hear it for the
Yeah,
martial arts
yeah.
champion.
I tend to not have to do a whole lot of punching or kicking. Occasionally, I remember I had to kick Android 18 a bunch of times, or Trunks. I can't remember. It was one of the two. And I just like we're fucking these super fast things. But that was like the worst of it, man. If I showed up in the video game, which was great, because then they had that one, the Budokai, right? And like they did this whole thing, the Legend of Hercule. You had to take this whole path of enemies, and then you unlocked me as a character. I thought that was cool, right? Because I was like, I'm somebody in this game. I'm better than Goku. That's what I said to myself. Shut up, David.
On a similar note, we have Josh who had his junkyard dog moment. Particularly fun things to record that you've gotten to do in the Dragon Ball universe along the way that have just been a fun day in the booth, or just when something's been described to you. Okay, so this happens and then this person turns into this. That's just been entertaining when you don't know sight unseen what you're coming into.
Like my first fun scene, memorable scene was when Fat Boo goes to town and finds ice cream. Right. So before then, I just said "Boo, fighting, laughing. I didn't say much of anything until I found this ice cream. Ice cream. And he had a little personality. It came out, and my favorite part was when he asked the girl, "You think Boo's sexy?"
That was Boo's Me Too moment. That woman pressed charges.
That's why I changed my schedule.
I'll tell you what wasn't fun was when I was screaming at islands for 4 episodes trying to find androids. I don't know if you all remember that.
Yep.
In second version of South, Android 18, I know you know this. I remember coming in and Sabbath was directing me and I'm like, are we doing more islands today? He's like, yeah, we got about another week and a half of that. Like, we can't even just find this stupid androids. I think when Cell first came to Earth and we were introduced to him and he was sucking the life out of people was pretty fun. Because it was, and the music was so good, it was so creepy and eerie. I like that.
Anybody out there got questions? Anybody? Anybody? Right up here in the front.
What was some of your guys' favorite lines to like deliver characters?
I can't wait to see the look of terror on everyone's faces. Yes, that's it. That's the look. One of my favorite moments of the Cell is when we were in a mall doing a signing, and in Cell's voice, Damien says like, "I'm going to kill you" to this kid, and then people around thought Damien was threatening children. That was my favorite thing in the world. Right? They did. It was awesome. It was hilarious. I'm going to kill you. He was like, hey. But as far as like my favorite lines, she's typically the ones they pay me for. And I like those. Which was all of them. So, you know, you tell me, what was your favorite line?
Yes.
Yeah, see how easy that is?
It's been a while, but we all watched the Boo Saga for Kai.
Right, like yesterday?
Well, no, that was like
Uh-huh.
that was summer actually.
Oh, okay.
Which is like this guy actually didn't know what Dragon Ball was.
Right, but now he does.
Now he does. He owns like 10 figures.
He got my autograph, he loves me. All right, well, I'm sorry, I don't give you more grief.
Okay, so the one I say a lot is Grandpa, but my favorite that nobody probably knows but me is cheeseburgers, fries, and blueberry pies. And that's the one I use to get back into character if I'm going in to record a video game or something.
Added, I can't remember even if it's still in there, but I was walking away, I don't know, into the sunset, and Sam, just as a joke, had me say, "You guys are cool." And it's still our inside joke between Justin and Salmon, but I don't even know if it survived. I don't even think it's in Kai.
Do you remember when there was a minute where we were doing outtakes at like little rap parties and stuff? This is back before work days.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember some of the outtakes? Like here, Barry? Remember Eric's?
We got in trouble for some of those.
Yes, we did. yes, we did.
Mine was funny though.
I was a fireman at the time, and the only one I've heard is I had just gotten off shift and I was recording that morning, and I was telling them about some effed up call I had that night, and they recorded all of it, and I was like, no consent. No. No, I mean it wasn't terrible, but that's out there somewhere. I don't know if it's on there. I don't know.
I have a little like moment in the what was that first movie, the Bulma's birthday party one, with King Battle of the Gods, right? Hercule gets drunk, and I think he challenges Beerus at some point, but he falls over kind of drunk. And Videl runs to his side, and in the outtakes, I say, "Oh hey Videl, go get me a cheeseburger," right? And Sabbath thought that'd be funny because of the whole what's his name, Knight Rider, what's his name? Yeah, Hasselhoff thing where he was drunk and had a cheeseburger. And what I really wanted to say, and I begged Sabbath to let me say this was, "Oh man, this hangover's gonna be over 9,000." And no, way funnier, right? I was totally right.
Yes.
Last moment.
Do you have a favorite moment where somebody's recognized your voice out in the wild?
Latte for Satan, Mr. Satan.
You know, the people don't do that a lot, but I make sure they know who I am. Right? I'll be somewhere, Josh gives me a hard time about this all the time. Because I'll be out somewhere and be like, you watch Dragon Ball Z? I'll be like, hey, get out your phone. I'm really curious about the voice actor for Mr. Satan Hercule. Why don't you look that up for me? Of course, they'll be like, oh my God! Yeah, thank you very much. My ego has been fulfilled. I'm leaving now. You guys.
Oddly enough, no one recognizes my voice as Majin Buu out in the wild. So I gotta tell them. But I'll use it sometimes if I'm in a crowded spot, right? I'll just go up behind people and go,
Me, I'm like, move!
exactly. Or I'll get behind him and do it.
It's one of the things I enjoy about being a voice actor is nobody recognizes you at all.
A cop recognized me when the Borderlands 2 and pre-sequel, all that stuff was kind of a thing. Yeah, I got pulled over. Yeah, I still got a ticket though. I had half my face hanging off. Yeah, that was about it though.
Yes or no?
Question though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
No, I mean, it'd be cool.
Would y'all ever use y'all's voice acting through drive-thrus?
Back in the day, when we were really poor actors, Josh would use his voice acting skills to like call pizza places and be like, he'd use his old man voice, and next thing you know, he's like, I had the grandkids over the other day, and the pizza came and it was cold, and we was looking to get, they told me to call Mike and let me get a new pizza, and next thing you know, man, 2 pizzas would show up at the door, like 5 stone 23-year-old guys. Cool, man, there's no grandkids, nothing. But we got free pizzas a lot.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Josh called a Taco Bell, this is no joke, called a Taco Bell. You know, they're the 10-pack taco things, right? I think they still do. And Josh said, well, I brought it back to the office, and there was no meat inside. Right? They believed him. Josh we went by that Taco Bell, and they gave us a 10-pack of tacos. Because the ones we got had no meat.
But the secret is to be a nice old man who's not looking for any problems. Hey, listen, I ordered a pizza from there earlier today at lunchtime, and when it got here, it was cold and it had black olives on it. Now, I don't eat black olives, and I tried to call back. I called back.
Against people who do.
No, I don't. I called back and I got put on hold, and I got hung up on a couple of times. And I know it's busy at lunchtime. I just didn't know what I needed to do to get that taken care of.
Ding ding, free pizza.
Well, sir, I'm very sorry. I'd love to take care of that. Next time you order a pizza, let us know. Well, you know what? The grandkids are coming over tonight. I'd love a couple of cheese pizzas. And that's how good. I'm not proud of it. But at the end of the day, I exploited the system. How about that?
And they work for you. I mean, they're corporations. They can write that stuff off, guys.
Is there anything about the Dragon Ball Z storyline that has influenced you or motivated you in your own personal lives?
Are you insane? Have you Dragon Ball? It is an acid trip. At what point in anyone's life is Dragon Ball Z storyline? I mean, if you want to learn how to be a crappy dad, maybe. Crappy dad,
He is a terrible dad.
horrible dad.
I'm the best one.
No, I'm just kidding. Not really. It is pretty far out there, though. Like, that storyline is pretty amazing how Toriyama can think of that stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know how he does it.
Not for me personally, but I have heard other just wanting to work out and be a little more fit like Goku and stuff to, I know a guy, I think it was Savitt tells the story, who was a guy who was severely burned, an accident at home, was severely burned on part of his body, and he just determined, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna work out the parts of my body that can work out, like Goku. Or maybe it was Vegeta, one or the other, I'm getting them. Point is, they took the inspiration from the show and they didn't let that issue, you know, that setback hold them back. You know, they took inspiration from that, so I think that's...
I really wish you'd answered that before I opened my mouth. Really bad.
Damien, I'm sure that you have an inspiring story about a supervillain you helped cultivate.
No, that's a good point though. People do find inspiration with things like discipline and ethic, work ethic and whatnot. I think that's a really good example. No, I think you've spoken enough. I think you've spoken quite enough, sir.
Oddly enough, the show in some way has somewhat reflected my own life. Like Josh and I are best friends in real life, and before the show came around, and we were like, hey man, I think we're living together now. You know, I'm making eggs and stuff. You build a house out of candy people and stuff like that. Next thing you know, we're buds, right? And me myself, I am a single father. I have a daughter. Her name is not Vidal, but in a way, you know, Satan's a single father. You know, he's got the daughter and stuff. So in a way, it's reflected my life in a way, which is kind of cool. Makes me awesome. Just kidding. I just want to add that last part.
So listening to Kid Boo, and that's not a voice I would expect to come out of you. How did you find these voices? How do any of you find these voices within you? And do you have the creative license to just let them go?
I'll take this one, Josh.
Well, you know, I'd already done the Fat Boo one, so I wanted to keep that in it, and I was aware of what Justin had done too, so in my mind, I combined those two along with Barry's Junkyard Dog direction. And then the Majin Buu, the Fat Boo, came from my character in the comedy troupe called the Pillsbury Homeboy. Right? So, you know the Pillsbury Doughboy. Right? Nothing says loving like my crescent rolls. So our idea was Pillsbury gets jumped on his way home from school one day by the Keebler Elves. He gets beat up, and it triggers him. And the voice doesn't change, but the verbiage does. So instead of cute things, there's really rude, crass, X-rated things. Don't know if any children here, but yeah.
There's only one.
Only one. So it'd be like, nothing says loving like the blunts I be puffing. And Savitt saw me do that after Chris and Mike booked their parts, and he goes, I think I found the voice of Majin Buu. And so he told me to come in the next day, and Chris Rager likes to tease me that it took me 3 sessions to be convinced that I actually was going to continue to do this.
Yeah, Josh came in one day, he's like, man, I don't even know if I really have this part. I'm like, how many times have you been in? 3 times, like, you didn't have this part. Right? They're not going to bring you in this many times. You go, take it away from you.
I didn't know, back to the beginning, I didn't know anything about Dragon Ball Z specifically, much less anime. I thought of Japanimation again, Speed Racer, and that sort of thing. So I got the Cliff's Notes version of Dragon Ball Z when I got in the booth. I got the Cliff's Notes version of what Boo had to do with it. And then I had about a minute to watch the first scene and then record my first line. And so I was a little overwhelmed, but then all of a sudden it was only Boo, 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 Boo. And I thought, really? They're gonna bring me to this?
Who inspired you? What inspired the voice of self?
You don't think yelling sound great?
Calm down!
You're so loud I can hear you think.
That's what Mama said.
singing "Happy Birthday" to him too. It was like that. I can't remember his name, but it was a really warm moment in the signing room this morning, and everyone was singing "Happy Birthday" to this guy, and everyone, at the end of it, all you hear is "Lame." Super on brand. I laughed so freaking hard, dude. Mr. Satan's in the corner going, thumbs down, don't like it. Was that the question? What's your inspiration?
Your inspiration for Cell's voice.
Okay, for the first version, it was Linda Blair in The Exorcist. How many people have seen The Exorcist? Hands up. Yeah. It's pretty spooky.
Your mother shoes socks that smell.
Yeah, that's the TV version. Cooks socks. Because that's a good visual, isn't it? Cooking socks. Yeah.
She sews socks that smell.
Is that the TV version or Cook socks? Anyway, let's not go down this rabbit hole. So the first version was like the possessed sort of and then the second version was Rager was my inspiration for that. I'm going to go down there. That was 48 episodes of looking for entrance on an island. And then the third version. Does anyone know what the third version inspiration was?
Burt Lancaster.
Elizabeth Taylor. Does anybody have any idea?
Give us a.
Okay, so it's not Ron Burgundy. This is the third version of Cell. I'll give you a hint. Kneel before Zod. That was pretty good.
Nailed it.
That was pretty good. Yeah, so the third version, I didn't even know there was 3 versions of this dude. I thought it was just this first version. And I was like, oh shoot, what am I gonna do for the third? And then I saw Superman 2 again. We all pull, at least I do. I pull inspiration. I saw pull inspiration. You just happen to be the Pillsbury Doughboy. Presence Hulk Hogan, and my third version was Terrence Stamp. You know, I'm thinking alien floats, takes over Earth. Pretty on the nose. You.
For Turles?
Yeah.
Wow. My inspiration, I will say this. How many of you know who Turles is, first off? Okay.
Oh!
Okay, good. So you're the ones who know that he's not Bardock. Okay, cool. You notice that Turles from Tree of Might all the way into the latest video game, which I think was like in 2019, that he's gotten progressively sassier. Yeah, so I have this theory, it's a conspiracy theory of my paranoid delusional self, that somehow they figured out that the American voice actor for Turles is gay, and they're just animating him more and more sassy throughout every iteration of the video game. And they're like matching it to Chris Patton. That's actually a very egotistical delusion that I have. But, well, I don't know. Yeah, okay, good. Ego and delusion. No, I for Turles, I have no idea where I got the voice. I saw it, Sabbath was like, you're gonna do this villain, and like he does it. I don't do as good as Sabbath as the rest of you
That's
guys.
the worst Sabbath ever.
Stop it, Damien! So handsome and so cool. I can't. By the way, someone asked about like the whole voice thing, like being recognized in public for your voice. I would never be recognized in public for Turles, but I was actually at Disneyland 3 weeks ago, and I was just talking with a friend of mine, and 2 people came up and said, "You're Oikawa." I said, "No, I'm Chris Patton." But anyway, yes, I have been recognized about 4 or 5 times because most of my characters just sound like an augmented version of myself, unlike these guys who do like wildly different voices from their own. So yeah, anyway, I don't know where I got the inspiration for Turles. I saw Turles, and I come in and talk this way. And like I said, he's gotten progressively gayer, which is awesome.
So for Pan, they just described Pan to me, and I saw her, and so I just made her young and spunky and all of the things. Now, I have a similar story to Josh in that I didn't realize I was keeping the job because when I went in to audition for Pan, similar in several ways, Mike McFarland, I was doing an improv troupe at the same time that they were in Section 8. I was in an improv troupe. So Mike McFarland got me the audition for Pan. I was sick, not in the contagious type way. I have asthma, so I have
Mentally, we get it.
Yeah, no, always mentally sick. Yes, Damien knows me well, so he can say that. No, I think he was talking about me. but I get asthma like twice a year, and so I had this like I was coughing and I had this rasp, but I was determined to go to this audition. So I was like, I'm going. So when I auditioned, I did do Pan like Grandpa, but it had a rasp that by the time I booked and went in to record, that was gone. So I did a couple of episodes and I was like, I'm gonna get fired because I don't sound like my audition. And they kept calling me in to record. And so I was like, okay, I think I got the job, maybe. I didn't have Chris to talk to about it.
Actors are super secure.
And then 65 episodes, I'm like, oh, yeah, I think I'm in. And I think I got it.
I don't know. I was dating a girl really into Beauty and the Beast at the time. And when I went into audition, I didn't know what anime or Dragon Ball Z was at all. But so the sides I read, I thought were for parts available. One was Piccolo and one was Vegeta, not knowing Chris Savage just declared himself god of anime at that time. So I just ripped off my Gaston impersonation, basically, just this. And so I read all of Piccolo's lines in my Gaston voice. And a month later, I'm cast as this android with no feeling whatsoever, but in the voice. So.
Wait a minute, you were dating a girl? I didn't hear anything after that. Oh, we're having fun. I love me some Inman.
Back there in the middle.
So, not really a question, but I would like to say me and my fiance skipped church so we could come see Satan.
I said that earlier in the panel today. So I'm not kicking it with the Christians, and now we're going to make a show called Kicking It with Christians. You come and see it.
Who else has a question? Right here. As you all inspire other voice actors like you want like me to get into the industry, who got you guys inspired when you guys first started acting?
Linda Blair, The Exorcist.
Here, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, when I started out, I just got into acting. I just wanted to be an actor, right? So that's all I did. There wasn't an idea to go into voice acting. That kind of term has actually taken on its own life in the recent past. I was a fan of Mel Blanc, I can't believe their names are Don Messick, Paul Frees, all the old, and I didn't even know their names back then. I just knew that I liked the guy, I liked that voice, that Bugs Bunny voice or Scooby voice or whatever. And then later on, as you get older, oh, there are people doing that? And, oh,
That's not a real
interesting.
cartoon dog?
I grew up in the country. Screw you.
So mine was more general TV. I didn't watch a lot of TV growing up. I was super involved in school, like part of every club, every sport, and discovered TV in grad school because they, kick you out of all the clubs. And I was like, y'all, what? I know this. Oh, he's cutting me off. He said this is boring.
I'm just kidding. No, she's a perfect human being. I went to school, I did all the right things. Come on, when did you shoot up at some point? School rock. I mean, there must have been a time when you did something with the finished status of the black tar hair. Come on, you can't be that perfect.
I did drugs and I got rich and decided to be an actor at the end.
The meth really did most of it.
Yeah, the meth
The drive for more pills.
That's
where the motivation is. Some people call it
That's my
ambition. I just call it
motivation.
I mean, to piggyback back off of what Josh was saying, we just want to be
Our
actors.
story's not over.
Oh, well, okay.
My story is not over.
What? Okay, go ahead. Oh, sorry.
I don't know. I don't think I can win after that.
Yeah. What kind of drugs were there?
Like the crack.
Like
like the crack film kids? Like you have crack, one of them jazz cigarettes. Jeremy is joining us
today from the 1920s.
So I have no story after this. Then I got into acting, and the rest is.
Did you Dragon Ball when you first met? That came later, right?
Yeah, I think we met later. I think I had done Dragon Ball. Yes, we go way back. We did spokesperson work together. We were husband and
How long
wife
did y'all
together.
date?
We did not date. My husband did not
Wouldn't call
support
it
dating.
You did crack together.
We were crack friends.
Crack pals.
Elise is like, when I'm not darning socks for homeless children, I'm attending PTA meetings and looking for a cure for cancer. Or I'm smoking rock.
Wait, Chris, I want to hear your story.
Well, I mean, it's not really a story, but like the true motivation has to skip down David. Like, we were actors, right? And, you know, one thing we wanted to do was get paid to be an actor, and this was an opportunity to do that. You know, so I would have gone on any auditions that would turn into payment one day. And that was really, yeah, exactly. Dallas didn't have all the things, and when Funimation came along, it was something that not only could I get a paycheck at one time, it was episodic. I could do this weekly somewhat, you know. It's like, oh.
Has everyone been on Walker, by the way?
Actually, no. I mean, I auditioned for Walker a few times, but
Not good enough.
yeah, not good enough. I couldn't kick it with Chuck Norris. I didn't look like a crackhead enough, I guess, or to be the guy on the street or the rifles dealer or something like that, arms dealer.
You know what you could have done? Is that, you know the guy from Breaking Bad?
Right.
Skinny Pete, who was the other guy?
Hey, use your microphone.
I want to.
We're filming.
Oh,
Never
yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. You ever start telling a story and you realize halfway through that it's just abandoned?
Oh, wait, that just happened to me. Deja vu, like 2 minutes ago.
Thanks, Damon.
This story sucks. Who's got more questions?
Right back there in the middle. What was your favorite game to work on?
Dragon Ball specific game or
Like
game?
Dragon Ball game.
Dragon Ball game. I mean, mine was Budokai, because I got like the whole Legend of Hercule thing, and that was like the best thing ever.
Fighters.
Well, I'm not in that game. Forget that game. Right?
More questions?
I mean, I can show up in a jetpack and an exploding president again.
Do you have a favorite Dragon Ball character other than the one that you voice?
Yes, actually.
Well, now we're jumping.
I tell you what, I hate Gohan. He's a punk. Why does he keep kicking the hell out of me? No, it's his fault. Yours was a bad choice. I mean, who doesn't like Vegeta?
Yeah, Vegeta's my favorite too.
Right?
Just a bad attitude.
Not a great dad.
Right. A little better dad than those.
Questions?
What about you? What's your favorite character to work with?
Majin Buu.
Never guessed.
When you guys work together, do you guys ever practice each other?
We record individually, right? So we're only one at a time. We're not all in the same room at the same time, which would be a major hassle, and they do not have the money to pay all of us to sit around and do nothing, right? Because you have to match the flash, so it just takes too much time. So we go in recording individually, we might see each other in the hallway, give each other a high five on the way to the next session.
But on that note, do you ever find yourself recording and hearing somebody else's lines that have already been laid down?
Yes, we got in trouble for that too. That's where some of those leaks came from.
Yeah, because you would say, hey.
Right, we drop a bomb for them,
Yeah.
right? We call it a bomb, so the next person who had to come in would hear you say something that's not in the script. You'd be like, ha, we've been waiting for that all day. Now, when you talk about pranks though, the biggest prankster amongst us was Savage, right? And his main target was Sean Schimmel, most of the time. I wish I do. Josh, you remember that story? What was the one about the kazoo? Schimmel had come in from LA to Dallas, recording some Dragon Ball, and Sabat had given the key card to his hotel room to to like Brina, and like had Brina go to his room and like move things around and like put a kazoo like in his bag, right? And then she took like this little DAT recorder thing he had, and she recorded a message in Spanish, right? No doubt. And so when Shovel showed up, he knows things are moving around. He listens to the message. He doesn't know what it says. He asks like the hotel staff who spoke Spanish there, like, what does this even mean? And then he finds the kazoo, and man, he is perplexed. Like, what is going on? Why is all this happening to me? He thought for sure, like, the hotel staff had done this to him. But it was savage and Brina. And that went on for like a month before they told him it was that. Right? He believed it for a long time. That somebody had come into his room and moved stuff around.
It's not hard to get Shovel going.
Oh yeah. No, he's a paranoid guy anyway.
Yeah, oh, that's funny.
Right? There were other ones I just can't remember.
Finally.
What would you consider your cringiest or most awkward line?
Eric's had some good ones. This man is not black or whatever. Yeah, because he's Goku Black.
Oh.
Yeah. There's all kinds of weird stuff. Yeah, I think Eric Vale had a line was don't shoot him, he's not black. Oh.
Yep.
He's black.
That's right. Yeah, he's like,
That's what
Yeah, that's translation for the parlance at about 8 cents an eyeball.
That was the most precise translation available.
Yeah, right.
What's the biggest motivator you could give for someone starting out in voice acting?
Don't. Stay away from my jobs, man. Trying to encroach on my territory.
Single dad here, come on.
That's right.
Hustle.
Take an acting class. That's where it should start, right? Acting is acting, whether you're voice acting, improv. Absolutely. That'll teach you everything you need to know. Involve yourself getting around people like-minded, like yourself. and then bring something.
What is your favorite anime inside of Dragon Ball?
You said Dragon Ball's my favorite.
Yu Hakusho. People seen that? That's a good one. Yeah. Not enough people saw that.
Golden Comedy. If you're not watching it, you should be watching it.
I like Chainsaw Man pretty cool so far. Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a coming of age story with lots of blood. Yeah, pretty much.
Has anyone seen that cartoon, Mr. Pickles, the dog?
Yes.
I don't know why I just thought of that. Have you seen it?
I love that dog.
So the dog's possessed by Satan? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
It's so good.
So it's hilarious.
That's an anime?
No, it's
No.
really good. It is, and then, yeah, I can't even describe it, dude.
It's funny.
Well, I'm gonna have to YouTube it, I guess.
Does anyone have any questions about have we seen the abridged version? Well, they don't want us for more than like 4 hours because their voice goes out, so it's usually about the cap.
So before you make it to the big stage, do you find in acting like doing several projects at once? And what are some of your other bigger projects that you've done? Not comedy and any singers, any opera
I'm in a Beastie Boys tribute band.
Yeah, they're kind of a big deal.
I know this is shocking, but I started in musical theater. Look out, I know. I know.
A lot of musical theater energy
You're
coming
coming off of me.
out.
Yeah. It's called rainbow energy.
That really ties into answer the other guy's question about getting into voice acting. In this market, you have to do everything. Like before I went full time, ran my own production company, and I was voice acting, and I was contract directing at Funimation, and like a million other things. All day long, doing 4 different jobs. And that's your life if you want to make a full-time living in creative arts, basically.
Like voice acting and just voice acting in anime is not gonna pay your rent.
Well, the cons for us to be able to do this and meet you guys on a serious or a sincere note allows us, not only do we love doing it, but it allows us to meet you guys and also add another thing on top of it to sort of, because nobody really was just an actor, right? 10 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe it's hard. And if you were just an actor, then you made 50 grand a year. But it's gotten better with the, working remotely and
I bartended and managed and waited tables for years and years while doing Dragon Ball as well.
So same here, like I do a little of everything. I do on camera and do teleprompter work and TV, film, voiceover, do all types of voiceover work, and I coach, and I have a YouTube channel where we're filming interviews this weekend. So it's within the entertainment industry, but it's all over the place. So it's that idea of diversifying your portfolio.
No time for hobbies.
Good time for a couple more, right there.
Have you ever gotten a chance to meet any the Japanese actors for your characters?
One time.
We did.
You met the Japanese film?
Yes. I did a con in Dallas when Yuri on Ice was popular, where they flew in the director and the producer and the character designer. That was pretty cool. We all did a big panel together with a translator and stuff. That was pretty cool.
I remember at KamehameHa, I met with them, not my counterpart, but I met Ryo Horikawa, who was the Japanese Vegeta. And that was pretty cool. He was really nice.
Yeah, I once did a green signing next to the Japanese voice of Ed Elric, that was crazy.
That's cool.
She's a little old lady.
This is a general question. Of all of the voice-overs that you've done, all of the characters, based off of the script alone, which ones do you like the most? Like, which character do you guys like the most based off of the script?
That we voice?
Well, it depends on who the writer is. Right? 'Cause I can complain all day long about the writer.
Well, we all worked on Borderlands. That was some good writing.
Oh yeah, that was some great writing. I'd say Anthony Birch nailed that game.
They've been trying to recreate the Birch vibe.
Right. They haven't quite got there.
Since Borderlands 2, which is you can't do it.
Right. Just gotta pay. They should pay him more.
The writing of Borderlands 2, I thought was just
On top, man. One of the best.
You're a little close. You've been very patient. Go ahead.
All right, that's time. Sorry, guys.
No, stay out of it. Most of those people don't know what they're talking about. It's a really complicated argument, and a lot of it's coming from LA people bitter about other things.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, like Damien. If you want to stay,
You know why I'm
don't-
better than you? Because I live in LA.
Yeah. just ignore all of it. It's the absolute best thing you can do. It's toxic, full of it. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Here's mine as a director and a full-time employee of Crunchyroll. Their standard of unionizing doesn't fit the ADR production model. And it never will because of the unique way our production system works. It's not TV, it's not film, and it's not stage. It's a little bit of everything.
It's a much faster turnaround.
And a way faster turnaround, and that's not even it. It's like, SAG union rights, they've already raised the, you got me ranting now. They've already raised, our rate, even though we're not SAG, is better than SAG. And a lot of these actors mobilizing their weed Twitter army aren't giving you all the information about what they've been offered and everything else. So I would, if you
I might
want
have
to,
returned for season 2.
yeah, they only offer me $4,000 per session or whatever, but they leave a lot of it out. So stay out of it. Stay out of it.
Checks.
Yeah.
We can post our best.
Yeah, come to Anime Con and enjoy the media we produce without inserting yourself into the
We want
politics
you to
of it.
dig deep.
Yeah.
We want you to dig deep and give to, in the name of Satan, we want you to dig deep. Send all your checks to our management.
I'd like to see.
And I just want to add, I am pro-union. I was raised in a union household, blue collar. My dad worked for GM and the UAW for 50 years. So I feel that gives me some sort of authority opinion on how wrong these idiots are about crying about just a meeting or SAG or whatever. They're leaving so much out of it. It's really almost insulting for you guys that don't know what they're leaving out of it, and then everybody picks a side, and it just turns into this toxic mess, and everyone's wrong. It's just, sorry, rant over.
There are pluses and minuses to the union and being out of the union. And at the end of the day, if you're a non-union actor, there is ways to do union work and get union scale and union pay. So you don't have to join the union, you know, and which some people enjoy, some people hate. You know, it goes either way. So, you know, we recently got a raise. That's good. That was cool.
I'd like to thank you for asking a question that got Inman more fired up than I've ever seen him.
It drives me crazy. That's why we made you wait so long. Wait so long because it was so.
That was like the one
I
question.
get so animated about it because I hear about it all the time, and I'm on Twitter too as a person who hires these voice actors.
For at least
and I
a
just
little
want to
while
tell
longer.
them you're literally burning your career down to the ground right now because you want to
Yeah.
whine on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest thing.
I agree.
Right there.
Do you guys prefer classic, Z, GT, or super?
Size, super size.
Z.
GT.
I got one for you. Kai.
Ooh, yeah.
Kai.
Because we all got to revisit the dumb stuff we did in the late 20s.
That's my favorite story about this whole thing. It's like when I listen back to the original, circa 2099 DBZ, we're all terrible. I mean, all of us are terrible.
I was pretty good.
I was pretty good.
I 3 bit parts in the same episode on Android 16. I'm like, there I am. I'm driving that truck and 16. So Kai, all of us had at least what 5-6 years. Of
we were more seasoned then.
And that never happens.
And the writing was better. 'Cause back then we were writing based on the Spanish dub, right? That's true.
That's true.
So we didn't have the Japanese sending us translations and adapting that script to the direct translations. We were using the Spanish dub.
Yeah, we got it
to write to White Dragon.
We got a mulligan.
Yes, we got to do it over.
Never happens.
And we did it better. So if you like Dragon Ball Z and the old school, that's great. If you want to see it really good and clean, Kai is way better in my opinion.
Yeah, and Cell finds the androids in only 2 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, there are no like 5 or 6 episodes where Goku's just screaming. He's still powering up.
Good question.
Well, I think we've decided that Kai is the best. We got time for one last one right there.
It better be good.
Is it true Sean passed out and he was screaming on
Yeah, because he's weak.
That's pretty good for a last one. Is yours better?
What is your most ad-libbed line?
Most ad-libbed line.
I actually added a few things. Like if you ever hear Mr. Satan say, "Oh yeah," like they were just written "yeah," but I like this Macho Man who said "yeah," you know. So I added a little Macho Man in there. So I would always say, "Oh yeah." I know. Like, hold on, I ain't done yet. I would also add "brother" into the line.
It just gets better.
Right. Well, that's ad libs, sir.
Wow. Juilliard coming. You're like Vanilla Ice ripping off David Bowie.
Before a fight breaks out, let's thank our guests one more time, everybody. Came to you that you want to ask them, go over there and talk to them. They are very friendly and don't bite unless you pay the extra $25.
Right. Come see us at the table.